2317.
Oh my god. Do they actually have security clearance? That would be dope. Like, you know, you have to be like a member of the wiki for a long time to be like, to have these certain clearances and stuff like that. That would be awesome. Imagine, like, you, like, maybe like not the founder, but like maybe the people, the OG SCP creators and stuff like that, they're the only have the clearance to open a, let's say the O5 Council's files, you know, like the redacted files of O5 Council. Alright, this one is by TheVolgun. This one suggested to me by Alpha Shocker 7458. To be honest, I should have watched this a long time ago, or the first videos I should have watched, because this one's a modern introduction to the SCP Foundation. This is pretty much like what I need to learn first when it comes to SCP Foundation, right? Should have watched this a long time ago, but yeah. Also, this one is very old. This one's 6 years old, so it's probably not up to date, but you know, just gonna give me the idea of the basics. But yeah, let's start. Also, this one's 35 minutes, bro. I'll be here for a while.
So, you stumbled upon or heard about a thing called SCP, and you're
Yep,
wondering what it's all about. This guide has all the information
Only
you need to know
720p.
about what the SCP Foundation is and what it has to offer you.
Teach me,
Think of it as the
TheVolgun.
ultimate primer to the universe and the wiki as it is and should be seen today. This guide is split up into 3 sections, and they are as follows.
Okay.
Number 1, the basics. An introduction to the SCP Foundation and wiki, covering the
need that.
SCP format, object classes, in-universe lore about the Foundation, and important vocabulary, and why it all matters. Number 2, in-universe elements. This covers some background information and a lot of commonly used terms that might leave a new reader lost or confused.
Felt that before.
Number 3, things to read and do. A tour of the entire SCP universe, covering all modes of writing and different kinds of pieces that you can read. From -J's to EX's, 001 proposals to groups of interest, tales, and canons. There's a lot more than just the SCP series.
Okay.
Okay, let's get started. The basics.
All I know, there's a lot of
Operating
SCP-001.
worldwide, the Foundation operates beyond jurisdiction, empowered and entrusted by every major national government with the task of containing anomalous objects, entities, and phenomena. These anomalies pose a significant threat to global security by threatening either physical or psychological
So the
harm.
government knows about SCP Foundation?
Introduction. The
Okay.
SCP Foundation is a collaborative writing platform centering around a fictional foundation, a scientific
Fictional.
and military organization that seeks to protect humanity and the status quo by locating and containing anomalies, objects,
Imagine if this was
life
all real, bro.
forms, events, locations, concepts, creations, and phenomena that, in one way or another, violate natural law. On the SCP Wiki, authors tell stories and explore ideas within this urban fantasy science fiction universe, creating rich pieces of writing that take place in a world where the anomalous exists
Yeah,
and
many
how
of
people and
SCP
organizations interact with them.
are very
These articles
creative.
may showcase the different types of phenomena that might exist in this universe, the SCPs themselves, or
Yep.
tell compelling narratives about life and interactions within the SCP world, tales, canons, and groups of interest formats. The central focus of the SCP Wiki is the SCP file, commonly referred to as just an SCP. It is a set
SCP.
of in-universe technical documentation supposedly compiled by the Foundation in an effort to understand, analyze, experiment with, and most importantly, contain the anomaly. The SCP file is, in effect, a form of constrained writing, an immersive way to tell a story about the nature and history of an anomalous object or entity, whether directly or by hinting at some greater idea. Each SCP is given a unique serial number or designation. And on the
39.
wiki,
Oh, so
you can browse SCPs with designations
how many?
ranging
I
from
think there
1 to 3,999.
probably around 5,000,
They are
6,000.
organized into 4 numerical series.
This one's
Series
like,
1,
yeah.
SCP-1 through to 999. Series 1 was written from 2007 to 2011.
2011. Yeah, they probably got like
Series
6,000,
2,
7,000, maybe 8,000.
SCP-1000 through to SCP-1999. Series 2 was written
Damn,
from
they made that much in
2011
just 2 years?
2013. Series 3, SCP-2000 through to SCP-2999. Series 3 was written from 2013 to 2017. And Series 4, SCP-3000 through to SCP-3999. This series is still being
Who
written,
writes
but it
these,
started
though?
in
Or
2017.
who makes it up?
The SCP format. An SCP file has a very specific format that, in general, must be strictly adhered to. SCPs are the backbone of the entire franchise. These documents are the set pieces of the universe, showcasing its tone, stories, and possibilities. The basic format of an SCP is as follows. Item number, SCP hyphen, then
The
the number.
Okay.
Object class, then a category name. Special containment procedures, then a detailed summary of all specific means needed to make sure the anomaly is safely contained.
Okay.
Description, then a technically written documentation of all things that the anomaly is, does, and can do. And finally, supplements, optional additional files added onto the base document. Each SCP
You know what's interesting on that too? They would like to make it more immersive, they would like redact, like put like a censor on some of them, like, you know, they make it sound like they make the file looks like it's top secret. Like you need like a higher clearance to access this word and stuff like that. That's very interesting because I've been to the wiki and I like how it is.
is given an object class
It's very
based on the degree
immersible.
of containment difficulty. Here are the primary object classes. Safe.
Safe.
The anomaly can be contained by simply leaving it alone. No special procedures, methods, or events are necessary to keep it from damaging the world. This does not
Have I
necessarily mean
watched
it's
any
not
safe
dangerous. A safe class
ones?
object can be
I don't
world-threatening
remember.
if not contained, but it's just really easy to contain them.
Okay.
Some notable examples
Maybe
of
like-
safe class SCPs are SCP-1981,
Oh, the
SCP-2579,
clown. I remember the clown.
SCP-993,
And the tape.
SCP-1425, and
don't know the rest.
SCP-3039.
Was that Bobble the
All
clown?
examples will be in the video description.
Yeah.
Next, Euclid.
And the
The anomaly is
John F.
inherently
Kennedy tape.
unpredictable or requires some amount of special effort to be contained. You're not quite sure what will happen if you leave it alone, and it might be a little bit more complex than a safe class entity, object, or phenomenon. Some notable examples of Euclid class SCPs are SCP-3008, SCP-426,
I remember that.
SCP-1171, SCP-3001,
The chair. I think I know the chair.
and SCP-1609.
But didn't they shred the chair though? Like they put the chair on the shredder, right? Now it's just like crazy aggressive now. But I don't know the
And
rest.
finally, Keter.
Keter.
These SCPs
Crazy.
are really difficult to contain, requiring a huge expenditure of resources or extensively complex containment procedures. The most dangerous of phenomena are classed as Keter, often, but not always, posing an existential threat to humanity, the world, or universal structure itself. Some notable examples of Keter-class SCPs are SCP-1739,
A laptop?
SCP-231,
I don't think I know any of these.
SCP-2935,
Yeah, I don't think I know any.
SCP-2293, and SCP-3200.
I don't remember.
In addition, there are a number of esoteric and secondary classes that are used much less than the big three that I
Okay,
just
I don't know
mentioned,
about these
but
parts.
still serve
Let's see
important
it.
purposes. Thaumiel. This is a very
Thaumiel.
rare object class only known to the highest levels of the Foundation. In
Anti-Keter?
essence, Thaumiel class objects are anti-Keter. They are used in the containment or counteracting of other SCPs. They act as powerful tools to be used by the Foundation, which normally rarely uses anomalies. Some notable examples of
Okay,
Thaumiel class
that's
SCPs
interesting.
are SCP-2000, SCP-2003,
No idea what these are.
SCP-3000, SCP-179, and SCP-3031.
Brain, long hair,
And finally,
creature.
neutralized.
I don't know.
It used to be anomalous.
Anything that
now
got
it's
destroyed?
not. Maybe it just stopped working on its own. Maybe someone accidentally or purposefully destroyed it. Either way, it no longer has functional anomalous properties. Some
Okay.
notable examples of neutralized class SCPs are SCP-1470,
They killed the dog?
SCP-2682, SCP-3519, SCP-1762, and SCP-2420.
Don't
If
remember
you
any
want to
of
stop
those.
watching this guide now and start diving into the wiki, this is a good time to do so. But be sure to finish this guide if you're unsure of anything. Maybe you can pick one from the links from the description and then follow the cross-links and navigation in the article. Maybe you can go to a series page. I highly recommend series 2 and 3, and just click on one with an intriguing
I
title.
think there's more
Or you could roll the
subclass,
dice
right?
and press
Let
random
me
SCP.
open that on the side.
One of the best ways to learn about the Foundation is to discover for yourself all the genres, emotions, and ideas it can evoke, to keep that sense of mystery and gritty realism. There's still a lot to learn about the culture and vocabulary and universe of the site. You can
Yeah,
find
there's a
out
lot of
and learn by
object
yourself
class now.
just by reading as much as you can.
I see
Playing it by ear,
Euclid.
it's pretty fun that way. Or if you'd like to get a better handle on everything that's going on and a few
Okay,
more
go
ways
back.
to drop you into the community, stay tuned. I still have a lot to show you.
I see
Next
this
up,
picture.
in-universe
Keter,
elements.
Apollyon,
Foundation structure and protocol.
Tamia, decommission,
Security
explain,
clearance represents how much
SSR. I
information
don't know.
about an object you're allowed to know. If you've read through an SCP or two, you're bound to have seen these.
Yep, redacted.
Data expunged, redacted,
Oh,
or the
why,
text
bro?
completely blacked out.
Yeah, that's
These
what I was
keywords
talking
are
about.
common hallmarks and tools of narrative of the SCP Wiki, signifying that the information has been classified to a higher clearance or has been cleansed completely. It adds an
I like
element
that they
of
do
horror
that.
through absence that is classic to the SCP fandom. For a great example of how security clearance levels can be used, read SCP-2317.
Oh my god. Do they actually have security clearance? That would be dope. Like, you know, you have to be like a member of the wiki for a long time to be like, to have these certain clearances and stuff like that. That would be awesome. Imagine, like, you, like, maybe like not the founder, but like maybe the people, the OG SCP creators and stuff like that, they're the only have the clearance to open a, let's say the O5 Council's files, you know, like the redacted files of O5 Council, like their actual name and stuff like that. That would be dope. Not gonna lie.
17. There are also many types of workers in the Foundation. Among them, we have containment specialists, researchers, and security tactical response officers. There are field agents who are out in the world undercover, looking for signs of anomalous activity, and mobile task forces, special units that are assigned to carry out certain dangerous jobs. The task forces document contains a list of mobile task forces along with their associated SCPs. The Foundation is usually thought of as a far-reaching organization, and so their bases are found across the globe, and sometimes outside of it. These bases can be sites or areas. For more information, read Secure Facilities Locations. The leaders of individual areas or sites are high-ranking Level 4 researchers known as Site Directors. There are
Okay.
few in the Foundation
I'm
that
probably
rank
not gonna
higher
remember that,
than
but
Site
okay.
Director, and they are the O5 Council, the ultimate leaders of the entire Foundation. The Overseer Council, abbreviated to O5, is a group of 13 people who manage all Foundation operations worldwide
The Overseer.
and have complete access to all information, redacted or not. Their identities are classified for safety, and they are only referred to by their ID, 051 through 13. In addition, some versions of canon also include the existence of an administrator, the creator of the Foundation.
Okay.
Finally, one of the most interesting parts of the Foundation are D-Class personnel, or Class Ds. The canon around D-Class personnel helps
prisoners,
showcase
right?
the colder and more morally gray side of the Foundation. In order to experiment with and contain SCPs,
Like
the
some of them
Foundation
are
needs
death row
lab rats
inmates,
to test things with.
right?
the D class. Oftentimes, they are recruited from death row or the prison population,
I know about
serving as
that.
expendable personnel that are used to handle hazardous anomalies. In the early days of the site, a common headcanon was that all D-Class were executed at the end of the month. However, this idea has gone out of fashion as the site has evolved. For more interesting stories about Class D personnel, try reading entries from the D-Class contest. Terms to know. The SCP Wiki has created a wide set of terminology and new innovations, inventing concepts that are unique to the premise of the site and found nearly nowhere else in literature. You may want to know these terms before you dive in. Anomalous classifications.
Memetic
or meme. A meme is any unit of information that can spread and transfer itself throughout society. Memetic effects deal with how the brain understands and reacts to media. It is a piece of data in the subject's mind that has an anomalous effect on that subject's physical or mental state that is spread when someone else becomes aware of the same information. In particular, anomalous memetic agents are bits of hazardous information that are like a mental virus, triggering anomalous reactions in people who are exposed to them. Anti-memetic or anti-meme. An anti-meme is the opposite of a meme. It has self-censoring properties. Anomalous anti-memes are perfectly mentally camouflaged.
I'm not gonna remember this
whether
part.
by making you unable to hold your perception of one in your
probably gonna
short-term
forget
memory,
about it.
or making you unable to comprehend the concept of its existence. Cognitohazard. A cognitohazard is something that is dangerous when we perceive it with one of the 5 senses. For example, a sound that causes you to bleed from every pore, or a smell that causes you to go insane. All memetic effects are a subset of cognitohazards, as in order to process the information, you have to sense it. Infohazard. Infohazards are anomalous effects that trigger when the SCP is described, referred to, or acknowledged. You don't even have to sense the thing to be affected by an infohazard. You just have to know that it exists. It affects data written about the anomaly and people that are made aware of the existence.
Like seeing the shy guy's face, right? That's an infohazard.
Ontokinetic or reality bender. An ontokinetic being can manipulate the laws of reality, magic, through anomalous means. Groups of interest contain and study reality benders, often in unethical ways, creating some moral crises for the Foundation. Anart or anartist. Anart is short for anomalous art. Many people and groups aware of the existence of reality-breaking phenomena choose to explore it by creating often surrealist art with extra-normal properties. These people being called anartists.
Is the factor count as an artist?
Or pataphysical. A narrative anomaly manifests itself within works of fiction, often affecting the content of the work involved by creating characters, changing the setting, or blurring the line between fiction and the reality. The pataphorical or pataphysical SCP explores narrativic anomalies using the wiki itself as the narrative. It explores the idea of characters we write on the website attempting to communicate and manipulate us.
Okay, that's a fourth wall break, huh?
Like author pages, deletions, and discussion forums.
I didn't know there's a SCP that can break the fourth wall.
And engineering. Scranton Reality Anchor. Scranton Reality Anchors are technological devices used by the Foundation to essentially regulate consensus reality. They cancel out or prevent the effects of reality-bending entities and anchor down areas where the level of unreality is higher or lower than normal, counterbending it so that it matches the reality that we know and inhabit. Many contemporary authors have criticized the widespread use of SRAs as a catch-all for containing any type of structural or ontokinetic effect. Telekill. The SRA back in the old days, except the problem was worse. In its original form, it was a metal that blocked all mind-affecting or compulsive effects. People went crazy over it and started using it in all their containment procedures, and mistakenly thought it also blocked memetic effects. Scranton's rewrite of the article added some nuances and drawbacks to it. and its usage had fallen by the wayside anyway, as people have become more innovative with writing. Humes, a unit of measurement that measures the intensity of reality present
I am not gonna
in an
remember
area,
that.
crucial
Yeah.
to understanding how SRAs and other technologies
Is this just
work.
the
They are
vocabulary
useful in
words? Yep.
quantifying how powerful reality-bending effects are relative to each other.
Okay, the next one should be interesting.
K-class scenario,
This
a
one.
term used to classify possible apocalypse scenarios.
So this one's
which the
anything that's
Foundation
like
deals with
end
on
of the
a
world
daily
thing, right?
basis when discussing the possible outcomes
Cater
of
class?
dangerous effects.
Not
or
really
entities.
cater class though,
The
right?
most common type is XK class, which describes a conventional
End of
destruction
the-
of the planet scenario.
Yeah,
There are multiple minor
like
ones
the
whose exact
001s,
definitions in
right?
canon are
Those
being
are
argued
they
over,
can cause a K
including
class.
CK class, the restructuring of a reality, AK class, humanity goes crazy, SK class, the dominant species
AK
on Earth
class
is no
could
longer
be like
humans, and ZK
the sun,
class,
right? The red sun?
reality universal failure.
don't know.
Amnestic, mind wipe drugs, a narrative tool used by
Remember
authors
the-
to explain
the
A,
Men in Black,
how the Foundation is able to keep the masquerade of secrecy,
thing.
and B,
The Flash.
create stories dealing with
But this
memory
one's like
and knowledge. In the
drugs,
universe,
right?
these are simply chemicals that erase a normal human's
Yep.
memory of some amount of time. When the Foundation has to recover an anomaly in the real
They
world
get this
or
from
seriously
an
messes up,
SCP, right?
these are used.
The amnestics.
Things to read and do. There's more to the wiki than the SCP series. In this section, I open the door to the other areas of the site that are part of the Foundation universe, as well as answer some
That
common
is what?
questions about key but confusing parts of the site. What is SCP-1? In the early days of the site, when the wiki was just getting started,
Alright, for SCP-1, I think, I'm just guessing, right? It's one of the most dangerous ones, right? It is labeled as SCP-1, maybe? The ones that
there was
was
some debate over what should be this sacred number. 1.
yeah, it should be the first one.
Everyone
like,
agreed that it
I
had
get
to be
it.
incredibly written. Everyone
Yep.
agreed that it had to be big. Something deserving of the very first spot.
The most dangerous one.
But
That's
nobody
what-
could agree who should do the honor of writing it.
That's what's
The answer?
in my head.
Everyone can write their own vision of SCP-1.
That's
Thus,
why there's a
the
lot of
system
SCP-1. huh?
proposals. An author's individual
Okay.
idea of number 1.
So there's actually no SCP-1, but there's like proposals for SCP-1, right? Okay.
They vary wildly and contradict each other. On the number 1 hub page, it says that the quote real number 1 is so secret that a number of false ones have been created. This explanation allows there to be multiple self-contradictory number 1s. One of them could be the true one to you. Or maybe you want a couple to be canonical at the same
It's
time.
just whatever you prefer.
Maybe
huh?
all of them are fake. Maybe all of them are true.
I think the
It all depends on your canon and how much you like a given
Gate Guardian
proposal.
could be the one.
In effect, SCP-1 proposals are canon builders. Each one sets the tone for a particular author's vision of the Foundation itself.
Or like the big galactic monster.
Creating an SCP-1 proposal
Scarlet
is
King
as easy as writing it and then submitting
be
it
the-
just like any other SCP. Although, unless you're incredibly experienced, it will most likely get rejected by the community and deleted. As of November
Understandable.
2017, 19 SCP-1 proposals have been successfully posted. Each one is the product of a lot of work and a high concept. Here are 6 of the 19. Number 1. Dr. Clef's proposal. The Foundation was established to prepare humanity for the rapture or apocalypse. SCP-1
The
is
Angel
the
Guardian.
angel guarding Eden.
Yep.
Number 2. Dr. Mann's proposal. The first and only natural anomaly was a spiral path in New York. A group of ambitious scientists experimented with reality using
I
this
don't
as
know
the
about this
thread
one.
and created every single other anomaly in the database. Number 3. S. Andrew Swan's proposal. The SCP Foundation is aware of its fictionality. They are currently discussing ways to kill their authors. Number 4. Rojit's proposal. Keter-class anomalies are an inherent part of the universe and can be contained using each other. By releasing all Keter-class anomalies, the universe can be manually restructured.
What?
Number
So
5.
just end the world,
Twisted
pretty much.
Gears Cactus Proposal. SCP-1 is one manifestation of the mechanical god worshipped by
The
a clockwork cult,
Yeah,
which
I
wreaked
heard about
havoc
this one.
on the world before the military destroyed it. And finally, number 6. Kaladin's Proposal. Humanity was originally a slave race whose suffering was harvested to create utopia on another planet. We escaped and then tried to cloak ourselves. The cloak failed, and our masters are trying to bring us home.
I don't know that one.
It's my personal suggestion that you don't start with SCP-1. The proposals are usually quite complex and require some knowledge
Sounds
of
like
Foundation lore, which is either played with, expanded on, or subverted. Read conventional SCPs before you take the number 1 deep dive. Special classifications -EX, -J, and -ARC. There are other types of documents that use the basic SCP format and style, but utilized in a different way. This allows different stories with more diverse tones and themes to be told. The SCP-EX classification designates an SCP that is no longer considered anomalous. It is explained. The object or phenomenon in question still exists,
Okay,
but the
I
Foundation
see
has
that
deemed
here.
it to be an acceptable part of consensus reality.
Okay.
Or it was a giant fake-out, or it turned out to be just a new scientific discovery. An SCP-J is a joke SCP, a parody SCP
A joke?
in a sense. Joke SCPs are explicitly non-canon, using the SCP format to joke around or make fun of something for the benefit of the reader. They may riff on in-universe tropes like overwrought security,
Ooh, I wanna see
over-the-top
those.
containment, cold posting, or bad original characters. Or they may parody things like food poisoning, bad drivers,
Is
easily
the,
angered people, or that
the
one
Garfield
movie.
one,
They may even
SCP-J?
make fun of the elements in the other popular SCP canons. Ultimately, a joke SCP is just a way to make the reader laugh. If a joke SCP is not well written and very funny, it'll be downvoted. And finally, we have SCP-ARC, archived SCPs. These are usually legacy pages from the very old days of the site, when standards were low and the mass edit had not been conducted yet. While most of these SCPs were deleted, some of them needed to have text archives due to their usage in other tales or still existing SCPs, or because they were historically
That'd be fun to see.
important.
You know, like
ARC
the old
is no longer in use since the opening
first
of Series 2, 3, and
SCPs.
4. And you will most likely never need to read one of these.
maybe.
Tales, canons, and collaborative logs. Tales are how the Foundation universe gets deepened and extended beyond the limits of the simple SCP file. It allows authors to tell stories where groups or people can interact with each other in the SCP universe, to expand on ideas already created in SCPs, or just, to write a prose. Some authors may also turn their tales into a series, usually if they have a cohesive idea in mind, or if it gets really popular. Notable series include There Is No Anti-Memetics Division, The Cool War, The Lombardi Tales, Tales of Mr. Collector, and Pitch Haven. You can find Tales in the top-rated Tales.
The Lombardi
Archive,
Tales sounds
as submissions
familiar.
to a themed contest,
I probably watch
or by trawling around and finding
one of them
recommendations.
SCP.
You
from
can
that.
also, as we'll soon learn, read
But
the
everything
tales
else, I don't
in a
really
canon.
know.
A canon is your own set of assumptions about the tone, setting, and dynamic of the universe. Each of the canons in the Canon Hub is a wildly different set of assumptions based off the baseline SCP Foundation. Think of them as mega tale hubs, or parallel universes, or self-contained cinematic universes for authors to play in. Here are 5 notable canons. Broken Masquerade, a world where the Foundation's existence is known by everyone. Resurrection, a deliberate attempt to resurrect the action-orientated SCP Dr. Crazy Days of Series 1, in which an MTF composed of anomalous humans is formed. third law, a pulpy sci-fi paratech world dominated by the machinations of Prometheus Labs and Anderson Robotics.
Those are another groups that I
the
need to
military
learn
killed
about.
God, and the Foundation is covering it up.
Anderson Robotics.
Reality is slowly unraveling and falling apart. The Gulf, small-scale poignant series set in the southern United States, usually having a restful, mysterious feel, and featuring religious symbolism and unconventional types of media. A number of pages on the site are tagged as collaborative. Collaborative logs or pages can be edited and added to by anyone, although some quality oversight still exists. This is a good way to get your creative chops and contribute whilst not taking the plunge of writing an SCP. The 3 main collaborative pages exist
That's
as
nice.
lists of mini SCPs.
I guess if you just want to start,
small-scale items or phenomena that
if you
don't
want
need
to start
have a narrative,
to make it
but
to make
still
an
need to be
SCP, but you don't
unique,
really want to
appropriate, and interesting. They are
dive in
log of
straight,
anomalous
you know?
items.
You just need like
The
experience to
SCP
making
Foundation
one.
has discovered a substantial number
That's
of
nice.
items which are simply too useless to merit further attention. This document lists those items which have prompted some curiosity. Log of extranormal events. This page is to document anomalous events that have attracted the Foundation's interests, but occurred too briefly for the Foundation to secure or contain them. And finally, log of unexplained locations. This page is to be devoted to the documentation of low-threat anomalous locations which have been discovered by the SCP Foundation over the years. There are a number of other collaborative pages, usually SCP supplements or logs. Keep in mind that guidelines for contributions still apply though, and if your edition is deemed to be below standard, it'll probably be removed. Groups of interest. The Foundation isn't the only fish in the anomalous sea. Other organizations, collective, and groups exist that utilize or create paranormal phenomena for their own purposes. Some are associates of the Foundation, others are rivals to it. Many of them quietly pursue their own interests, while a great many
I
of
want to
them
learn
fall
more
on the
about
lines
these.
of good and or evil. The vast majority simply have a goal in mind that's somewhere in between. Here are 7 notable groups of interest.
Okay, let's see it.
Are We Cool Yet? A
Wait,
collection of an artists, usually
wait,
producing
wait.
surreal and disturbing works of art. They're people
I thought. Wait, groups of interest. Are they talking about like, not the actual like groups in like? Man, I was thinking like SCP,
pieces are
Global
designed to have
Coalition.
maximum impact and are usually lethal in some way.
Okay,
The Chaos
it
Insurgency.
is right. Okay,
A rogue cell of the Foundation that uses terrorist means to steal and repurpose powerful
I've
anomalies
heard of the
to
Chaos
gain control over
Insurgency
nations
before.
and conduct unethical experiments.
What's
using
the first one?
anomalous cell in some
Are
way.
We Cool Yet? A collection of artists, usually producing surreal and this. I don't. I've never heard of this one.
The Chaos Insurgency.
This one
A
I've heard
rogue
of.
cell of the Foundation that uses terrorist means to steal and repurpose powerful anomalies to gain control over nations and conduct unethical experiments using them. The Church of the Broken God. A widespread cult believing in a
Clockwork God?
clockwork god who has broken
I
into
don't think I heard of
pieces
this
all
one.
over the world. Dr. Wondertainment. An individual or company that makes anomalous artifacts that are supposed to be children's toys. The Serpent's Hand.
Does Dr. Wondertainment have anything to do with the warehouse? Is that one that creates like anomalous equipment too?
A small organization headquartered in an interdimensional library, believing
Don't
in
know about
anomalous
this,
rights
guys.
and the normalization of the paranormal and magical. Marshall, Carter, and Dark. A
What is this?
corporation that buys and sells anomalous items for the benefit of the super rich.
Damn, they got like the black market here
Global
too.
Occult Coalition.
This one I know.
Or the GOC. A massive military organization under control of the UN, using technology and force
I feel
to
like
destroy
this
the
is
extra-normal
the rival
wherever they find it.
of the SCP
Many
Foundation,
groups
right?
also have their own form of documentation, similar to an SCP. On the wiki, they are called GOI formats.
It's like I'm sure there's
and they
more
are
now.
stories told from a different perspective in
groups?
the Foundation. For more information, visit the Groups of Interest page, as well as the ongoing Groups of Interest overview and guide on the SCP Declassified subreddit. Beyond the main site, you can find stories and SCPs to read even beyond the classifications and places I've already detailed. In this final section, I present other outlets of writing associated or tied to the SCP wiki that you can also look into. Firstly, a great place for you to discover lesser-known but very well-written tales
websites
and SCPs are in the contest archive. For example,
I'll finish it.
SCP-1000, 2000, and 3000 contests all have SCPs themed around urban legends, sci-fi, and horror, respectively. You have the Short Works contest, and the D-Class contest mentioned earlier, and the History contest for both Tales and SCPs. Then there are the gigantic, multi-part Mobile Task Force contest and Groups of Interest contest, and then the Dystopia and Reimagining contests, and so forth. There's so much to find. The Wanderer's Library is set in the mysterious, ancient, magical Library of the Serpent's Hand. It includes prose pieces and poetry set in the SCP universe, but focused on evoking a sense of wonder, of the extraordinary and fantastical. Quote, a sense that there is a larger world beyond the one we know. In the world of the library, these wonders are hidden, but never truly far away. But never forget that this is a wilder world than our own, and it's never entirely safe, either. And finally, we have the international foreign SCP branches. There's French SCPs, Russian SCPs, Japanese SCPs, and a whole bunch more. Each brand has their own set of SCPs,
they're international, that's
many
crazy.
of which have extremely creative and diverse ideas. If you're looking for more SCPs to read, this might be a place to find cool concepts. And if you don't know a foreign language, the main SCP-INT Wiki Hub has translations of some of them.
That is cool. That's cool.
This was entirely written by Reddit user Modulum83 over on the SCP Declassified subreddit. All links will be in the description.
Thank you, Modulum83.
Give Modulum83 some praise in the comments section for writing something I couldn't write myself. I hope it answered most of your questions.
Thank you,
about who we are
Modulum83.
and
Thank
what we
you,
do,
TheVolgun.
and that it convinced you to take a dive and become part of the universe and the community.
Alright, that's it. Yeah, special thanks to that. But yeah, that was SCP Explained, a modern introduction to the SCP Foundation by TheVolgun. This is a good start. Like, if you want to start learning more about SCP, yeah, you can read it on the wiki. But sometimes, you know, you just want to get like a little manual for it. This is a good one. If this one focuses more on the terminology, vocabulary kind of things of the actual website, which is good, but I'm kind of got lost on some of them. Some of them just flew over my head. I just didn't understand, but yeah. Also, I thought I was gonna be more on the SCP world, not the wiki. You know, maybe I'll find one that's more like focused on the actual world of SCP, like the actual fictional world, because this one's more focused on the websites, on, like, you know. But still though, like the vocabulary, the terminologies, that's actually helpful, you know. Probably not gonna remember all of them, but you know, it's good to know, maybe. And I don't like the proposals, you know, knowing that there's actually no SCP-001. They're just a bunch of proposals. That's nice. I didn't know there was a joke SCPJ. That's good to know also, like the EX and the archive. And what else? The groups. Like you know, I want to dive in more into the groups of SCP. It's, you know, like global cult, like the cults and stuff like that. I want to learn more about it. That's what makes it like more interesting, right? Knowing like the people of the world. Like you know, in the SCP Foundation, they have Dr. Bright, you know, some other doctors and stuff like that. But knowing them makes the world more interesting. It makes it more immersive. Because you know, because these are like the guys that supposedly containing the monsters and the, you know. But yeah, also the redacted, they also talk about the redacteds, like data redacting. Yeah, that's nice too. I like that. I just hope, like I said earlier, if there's actual like clearances for people to read, like, you know, to make it more interesting. Like SCP in general is already interesting, but imagine like me having like a different clearance compared to like another guy. Like me, like I don't know much about SCP. At least I'm just scratching the beginning part of it. Me having like the basic clearance, and maybe the guy next, like the other guy or another person have like a higher clearance than me. Like let's say I have a secret clearance, the guy next to me have like top secret clearance. That'd be a dope concept for the website. Maybe like you can log in having all these files and stuff like that. If you're like me, who's like basic clearance, you can't access certain area yet. You have to like, you know, spend time, make it interactive pretty much, right? Make the website a little bit interactive. That is cool. I think that's a good cool concept. But yeah, that was it. Thank you, TheVolgun. And alright, I'm up.